Friends, so I have bought in times past some LEKATO items. One of them that I bought, I've got it here on the screen behind me, is LEKATO. These are called the 70 WS70. So you can see how they charge. A wireless guitar system. This one's UHF, and it worked great. I did a review of it, and LEKATO liked it. And so I've bought several things from them. This one it's not a, I guess it's a sponsored video in that they did send me this item I'm getting ready to show you for free. Recently I did a video, let me grab this GoPro and show you. I did a video about this pedal board, which has the power supply built into it. That's been great. So they asked me to review some more of their stuff, and I said, you know, so far I love everything you guys have. That they asked me, you know, what would you like to review? And one of the things they had was this. So this is the new LEKATO wireless system, which is 5.8 gigahertz. Folks, I'm not going to pretend that I totally understand how all these frequency bands and stuff work, but I'm here to tell you these are great. Could I detect the slightest bit of latency? Maybe just the slightest bit. But I use these for practice. I never did gig with them. I'm just old school. I just tend to want to know that I know it's going to work. So I've always used cables when I played. But this, I got to say, I've already opened it. They asked me to do an unboxing, so I'm going to go ahead and unbox it again so you can see that it did come with a piece of foam over the top to protect everything. There's nothing really special about the boxing except that it was very securely and nicely packaged. And this is kind of how it came. That's the box that it came in. I think they knocked it out of the park with this. So I've got a gig next weekend, and I'm going to use these. So this is the LEKATO new model. And what is it called exactly? It's called the LEKATO 5.8 gigahertz wireless guitar system with charging case, guitar wireless transmitter and receiver, with 4 signal channels, guitar wireless audio system for electric guitar, bass, electric instruments. Now, I've got my keyboard down here, and I've got it running through a channel over here on my Tone Master Deluxe, and on the normal channel. I'm going to run my guitar in. I tested this the other night. I've already played with these for about an hour, maybe a little less than an hour, about maybe 50 minutes or so. But this is how small these are. And I love this charging case thing, which, you know, you got one side that's the input, and it is USB-C. So right on for doing it that way. That's great. But then you've got an output too. You've got a USB output. So you can charge both of these on this while you're charging something else. But that's not all. It also has a battery built into it. So you can charge these without even being hooked up to anything. Say you're going to a gig. Me, depending on what band I'm playing with, we either play about 50 minutes and take a break, or I'm in one band that likes to play for about an hour and 15 minutes. We do about a 75-minute set. And then we take about a 20, 30-minute break. It's whether you're in a 2-set band or a 3-set band, but the thing that's cool is you could just have this sitting on top of your amp like I do over here, this Tone Master. And in between sets, just unplug and chuck them in there, man. Just like that, just like that. And look, I don't know if you can see, but there they are charging, and no, nothing's plugged up to them. You see the blue bars there. That is pretty cool, my friends. And like I say, these things are small. Let's compare them to the other ones. So these are the other LEKATOs, which they do not have any sort of through charging for anything else. Like say you wanted to run your iPad or something, or you wanted to charge a phone or whatever. So this is the difference in size. Let you see that. I'm shooting this with a Insta360 X4, but there you go. I'm also shooting it with a GoPro, so you can get an idea there. Much, much smaller. And so on the back of one of these, as with the other one, you've got, this one says receiver. So this would be what we plug into the amp, or into the pedal board, or into a mixing board, or whatever. It all works. This one is the transmitter. So we got the transmitter and the receiver. Let me hook up. I think I want to play my Charvel today. Okay, so I've got a Guthrie Govan Charvel here. I'm going to try. let's plug in the transmitter. So I'm going to go into the back of my guitar. I'm going to have to pair these things, right? And the way you pair them is just you hold this button on for 2 seconds. It turns blue. Turn this button on for 2 seconds. It turns blue. And I'm kind of hoping that they're paired, right? Now I'm going to go into the tuner on my pedal board down here. I'll show you. There's the pedal board with the LEKATO plugged into the Polytune. So I pushed the button by mistake. Now that could happen. You got to be careful with that, right? We'll go into the vibrato channel. And let's go out the mono on my delay. Now the other night, I could detect absolutely no delay in this. I mean, I couldn't. We're going to test the latency. It says that it's less than 6 milliseconds, which is 6 1,000ths of a second. It's less than that, so I don't know what that means, 5.5 milliseconds. So we've established that sounds pretty great, man, I gotta say. A little bit of gain. Latency seems to be no issue at all. Let's switch it over to a keyboard. This is using a chord. So I'm going to take the transmitter out and I'm going to place it into the output, into the mono out. Okay. And let's take our input here. Let's go into the normal channel on the Tone Master. One thing we need to test though is distance, and it does purport to do it up to about 65 feet or 20 meters. That would be, I think, is what it says. What does it say on their website? Does it say 20? I thought it said 20 or 25 meters. 20 meters. So that would be, yeah, roughly 65 feet. Let's take this Troublemaker Telecaster. Let's go outside with it. I don't think I've ever walked. I'm trying to imagine what stages I've played on where I've been able to get more than 15 feet from my amp or from my pedal board. Very seldom. Most of the time, most of the places that I play around here, if I can get 5 feet away from my amp or my pedal board, I'm fine. So I'm totally transmitting from here. Let's go on a little walk and I'll take the X4 with me. So I'm at this point point maybe about 8 feet away from the receiver. Definitely just doing this kind of thing, which like I said, I'm about 7 or 8 feet away from the amp. There seems to be no issue at all. Let's do my AC10 over here. So here's a Vox AC10. And we need to also put the recorder on it. I'll stand out here with the door open. So I am I'd say I'm 20 feet away from it now. Guess I'm a good 25, 28 feet away from the Vox now. I'm probably about a free throw away from it now, about 15 feet. Pretty freaking great. Okay, so for this bit of the test, I'm hooked up to my Live Track L12 from Zoom, and I have a cable coming in from the right side of my right channel of my keyboard stereo, and then I've got the LEKATO coming out of the left mono channel on my keyboard. So you can see what I've gotten over here. I'm thinking maybe it'd be good to do a drum kit. Okay, so this is me testing the latency. And if you look down here, yes, now what I've done, let me cancel this for a second. I have zoomed, I've got this thing set to show audio time units, which allows you to really zoom in on the audio. So if you look there, this, I put a clip here or a cut here at the beginning. So this is the straight off the cord, this is the LEKATO. So this amount here, from where I put the other cut, this is the latency. So so I do this and right click on it and say speed duration. It will show me right here that the latency I've checked it on all these drum kicks that I'm doing and stuff here. You can't audibly hear it with your ears, but it looks like it is 2.81 thousandths, right? So that would be tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So it is much less than 6 milliseconds. It's actually less than 3 milliseconds of latency. And so I'll just go ahead and play this for you now. I just wanted to go ahead and insert this and show you that yes, there is some latency. Of course we knew there would be, but it's much less than even they claiming for it to be. So great job. I can't in my ears detect any latency at all. It is a 24-bit 48 kilohertz stereo lossless digital transmission, it says, and frequency range of 10 hertz to 22 hertz. So that's outside the human possibility of hearing anyway. I don't think you can hear down to 10, can you? I don't know. I know you can't hear, most human beings can't hear more than about 16 or 16 and a half, 17. I guess maybe just the high crispness or whatever. Transmission of more than 20 meters, transmitting more pure and pristine guitar sound quality. I'm certainly finding that, I think, to be true. So I just got to say, I'm going to gig with this thing. It seems to be, to me, very low latency. It seems to be pretty transparent. What I'm hearing through the cable is also what I'm hearing through the through the transmitter, or the transmitter into the receiver, into the amp, or into the board, or whatever. It seems like a pretty solid setup. So I'm giving it 2 thumbs up, big time. You've got an excellent charger that you can also use. Again, it's got battery built into it. You're going to go to the gig, and if it's been sitting on this thing and this thing's been charged, then you're fine. And I don't know how many times this will charge it, but I bet it'll get you through a whole gig. It would be interesting to see. I'll know more. I'll probably do a follow-up video next week. I'll let you know how this performed. But I'm going to take a cord with me to be safe, because I'm one of those guys that keeps backups for backups for backups. But this is going to be how I'm going to be the first time, honestly, that I've ever played a full gig and tried to use a wireless system. You know, I've never had a problem with the old LEKATO. Now, another interesting video, maybe a follow-up, would be check the latency for the old one. The thing about this one, I guess because of the fact that it's new tech and it comes with an excellent charger, which I'm sure costs probably 20, 30 bucks to make this. This one runs about $80, $79.99, 80 bucks. The old one that I bought, that I used for practices, was like $40, $39.99. So yeah, you're going to pay twice as much for this one, but it honestly seems twice as nice. I love the fact that it's small, that it has this awesome charger, 24-bit audio. That's why it sounds so good. I wish you could hear. I'm hoping my little recorders did justice to how it sounds. And the distance, like I say, folks, if I'm ever more than 10 feet away from my amp, it's just a miracle, because the stages, I don't know where you guys play. Maybe you play Wembley and Red Rocks, and I don't know, Albert Hall and Madison Square Garden. I play places like the Heathen's Den in Marion, where basically if I turn around too fast, I'm gonna knock my amp over. So, you know, and the place I'm playing this weekend, I'll probably get a chance to stand 10 feet away from the amp. It is a big barn dominium type thing that I'm playing in, but I'm going to give you a report on how that works. You're still hearing a combination of both channels here. I've got buddies that have been playing wireless for years and years, and I know they spend big bucks on their wireless setups. This is not going to break the bank at 80 bucks, and it looks like it just is going to work flawlessly. Peace to all who watch. Subscribe to the channel if you like. More to come on the LEKATO 5.8 guitar wireless system.